Cheney,
Here.
Commissioner Castleline,
Here.
Commissioner Russo,
Here.
Commissioner Dutnick,
Here.
Judge Garza.
Here, we've got a full court. At this time, we'll hear from citizens be heard. County Clerk Misty Kimbrough has signed up.
I have a statement. Our local government authorities continue to raise costs of living with our taxes. And now you, the county commissioners, want to remove or lower benefits and raise the cost of insurance. Yes, I'm aware that our benefits are better than most in Texas and even in the US. However, when we're hiring, we promote, we can't pay you what other places can pay you, but we have these benefits. Every time I've hired somebody since I took office, that has been what I've said. But now we're discussing removing some of the benefits and raising the cost of insurance. I know you don't want to discuss pay raises at this point, but that will need to be considered depending on your decisions on today's matters. If we continue down this path, we're going to lose some of our employees because they will not be able to afford to work here if they want to live in this county. I truly believe that we should be able to pay our staff enough to live in this county. Thank you for your consideration. And may you make your decisions on today's matters based on the state.
Thank you. Anybody else? All right. Item number 1.
Please consider authorizing county director to sign an interlocal cooperation agreement with the city of Rockport for use of the airport purposes.
We've got a motion and a second.
Good afternoon, Commissioner Judge. I was approached by the Rockport PD, specifically Detective Sawicki, who was on dispatch from Chief Anderson to find out if there was any opportunity for them to do a particular training at the airport. Told them we need to put this local agreement together in order to do it. They want a safe place out of the way from the public. The airport provides that. We have similar agreements with Delta and all other agreements past police department. So I've seen what they're proposing. Doesn't interfere with airport operations in the slightest. And staff recommends the approval of this.
What kind of steps do they want to do?
I didn't get too far into the weeds on what their goal was, but it's some in vehicle, some out of vehicle. They're going to use a closed taxiway in the middle of the airport, in the middle of the field.
Yeah, same one they used in the past.
Yes, sir.
Actually, did Delmar College do something there at one time?
I'm sorry.
I think Delmar College.
Delmar College has an ongoing MOU with us for the same kind of thing, except they actually do an EVOC course, which is the vehicle obstacle courses. So,
Yeah, they're gonna be covered by their own insurance.
yes, sir. County Attorney's Office has had a chance to review this, make changes and
Okay.
looks like we want to look. Yes, sir.
Cool. Yeah, when I was in Marine Corps doing EVOC training, it was on the taxiways that were whatever, not in use.
I'll have it come out and drop it.
That would be fun. That would be fun. All right. Any other questions?
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Castleline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo, Commissioner Dutnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, motion passes. Item number 2.
Move to approve the updated Aransas County Transfer Station official holiday schedule for 2026.
I'll second that.
All right,
Got
got a motion and a second. This is for the transfer station.
Yes, we did approve it, but I realized after it was approved, I need to change the July 4th transfer station holiday. So next year, July 4th is on a Saturday, so the courthouse will be closed on Friday the 3rd. And I put the same for the transfer station, not realizing they're open on Saturday. So I am just changing it to the 4th for them.
So what day are they close?
Saturday, July 4th next year.
So the holiday will be
The actual holiday.
that'll be the actual holiday.
Just for the transfer station.
No, should we do 16 holidays?
Well, it's 13, but then we have 2 for Thanksgiving, so I guess 14.
Well, I mean, we're off for 16 days. I mean, I don't have a problem with that, saying that a lot of benefits.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Castleline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo, Commissioner Dutnick, Judge Garza.
Aye, motion passes. Item number 3.
I move to approve Aransas County, Texas. Aransas County's Texas Association of Counties Health and Employee Benefits Pool Plan Year 2026 renewal and authorize county judge to enter into and sign the renewal agreement with the Texas Association of Counties.
Second.
And
We've
then
got,
we're going to discuss the options. Okay.
yes, we've got a motion and a second. Miss Desiree.
I do want to point out on my agenda, I put the increase of 8.1%. I should have put 9.7%. That's what's on my spreadsheet, so it's 9.7, not 8.
That's the increase in the insurance or,
Yes.
yeah, what is the increase in employee?
So I'll go over all the options, if they don't mind, I'll sit during the start, I have a lot of documents.
What about just the bottom line, you know, across the board?
Carter, which one we pick?
Well, I
Yeah.
understand that, but, okay.
Okay, so if you pull up the spreadsheet that has a blue, a black, and green tables. We'll go through that first.
Is it this one? Is it the first page on there?
Yeah. The blue is the first table, we'll go over.
Okay, that's the other one, yeah.
It says 80, maybe, that's what we say.
Yes, A. So for A, I'm not proposing this option at all, I just wanted to show what it could be, what the cost could be. So the blue section at the top is if the county were to absorb the increase up to the employee only portion. So the employee only portion would remain the same. That cost to the county would be $205,000. And then all the other tiers for employee and spouse, employee and children, and employee and family would all increase. So on the far right, where it says shown for employee per pay period, that's the increase that everybody would see per pay period, except for employee only. And that's if the county were to pay $205,000. On the black table, this is if the county decides not to pay anything additional. So right now, the county pays $782.26 per month per employee. So if that remains the same, the increase falls to the employees. And the total increase would be $238,710 per year for the employees. And again, on the far right, it shows you the increase per pay period the employees would see.
So if we take no action whatsoever and keep what we have now, it's gonna be $40 a paycheck per employee.
It would be 62.62. So the 40 is just the increase on top of.
Oh, okay.
22.50.
Oh, I see.
So. The employee only portion would be $62.62 per pay period. Employee and spouse would be $3.78 and a penny per pay period. Employee and children would be $237.58, and employee and family would be $496.15.
That's an increase.
Yes, if the county chooses not to pay anything additional.
Well, those amounts are higher, but the actual increase over what they're currently paying is in that final column on the right-hand side, correct?
No, the final one on the right is just the difference between. The new, the 62.62 minus the 22.50 is.
Right, so that's how much more the employees,
Oh, more, yes,
More.
but not the total amount.
correct. But that would be the increase they would see over what they're currently paying.
per pay
Okay,
period.
so an employee and a family, how much out of their monthly paycheck would be increased? Under example number one.
Employee and family, it would be almost 150.
So take what they're making now and take $150 more away from it for anything.
Per month, yes. So I'm not proposing these, I just want everybody to be aware of what it could be.
Right.
Let's use that for the example, because that's the highest one.
Yes,
So.
okay, so if you go to section B, the orange page. This is the option that I am proposing. Just because it's a pretty even split of the additional cost, so the $238,000, this is a pretty even split between employees and the county. So this is with the county increasing what they're paying. So instead of paying $782 per month per employee, it would increase to $824 per month. So that total increase for the year for the county would be $106,000, $789.68.
Okay, then how much would that be per family per month?
So it depends on which tier you choose.
So
So I'm-
we should look at EE plus family, I mean, that's the highest one.
okay, so again, it depends on which option you choose. There's a high deductible and a low deductible. The county,
Let's pick one and just use it. What's the most common one we use? Low deductible.
currently we have the $750 deductible.
Okay,
So With this plan, the increase for employees would be 19.3 per pay period, so their total would be 41.73 per pay period.
$41.73.
Yes. But if you go with the higher deductible, it's zero cost to the employee. And then all the other tiers on the higher deductible have a savings of about $50 per month. But if you choose the lower deductible of $750, you're gonna pay a higher premium. But I do wanna say it is the same benefits. It's not decreasing benefits to employees.
Issue is the inflation and everything else that's coming up. I mean, we're looking at near record inflation. And to stay the same is a loss. To the employees, and even though we get great benefits and everything, we gotta keep that cost of insurance down.
Well, that's why I'm proposing two options. So the employee wants to go with.
Well, you're doing a good job, I'm just.
Yes, thank you.
This is the first time that I know or that that we're offering two different plans, high deductible, low deductible.
Yes. Well, that I know of, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Sure.
Okay.
No, we don't too, no.
So the benefits are gonna be the same, it's the same network, same providers, same. Employee assistance program, same wellness program, all the same benefits, it's just the deductible is increasing
How much is the deductible going to, I'm sorry.
to $2,000 for the higher deductible.
And what is it for a family?
What is it? per-
6,000, I think,
Let me,
I think it's
it's usually.
7,200. Wait, no, sorry, 6,000, I was looking at the
For a
maximum.
year?
And also the co-pays go up.
Yes,
Is that-
$10, I was just speaking, but yes.
Is that $6,000 per unit? If we had a lot of, they'd be out $6,000
Per family.
more than what they out. And
Yes, but I would like to point out that only
you got to point out something, because that's a lot of money.
Only 16% of total members, that includes children, that includes spouses and employees, only 16% met the $750 deductible. So that's like saying most people don't spend that much out of pocket, so they won't really ever meet that $2,000 maximum or $2,000 deductible.
How many with children met it?
I don't know, let me see.
Well, we have to look at, and I know.
And I showed
Children go-
14 people out of 343, so 14 people with children out of 343 met that deductible.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, it's children, just children met that deductible. 14.
Jackie.
Well, what I was gonna say is that your regular doctor visits and all that stuff don't normally go to your deductible.
No.
Right.
This is only like hospital stays and, and surgeries and stuff like that. I mean, just your normal, whatever kid has, I mean, most of it is regular doctor visits, those, and your prescriptions don't go towards your deductible.
But, and the alternative, you mentioned that it's a positive thing for 85%.
For 84%, yes, correct. And actually, only 11% of employees met that deductible. But when you look at including children and spouses, it goes up to 16. So for the majority of employees, they could save money by going with the higher deductible because maybe they're healthy, maybe they never really go to the doctor, maybe they never really use their benefits.
So we're giving them that option for them.
Yes, and it's about $578 per year for the employee only, so it fluctuates to about $600 a year for savings. That's a guaranteed savings. It's not a guarantee that you're gonna
Savings to
save
the
your
county,
max
to the
deductible.
employee.
To the employee.
Employer, to
To
the-
the employee, yes, to the employee.
And one unfortunate thing is, and I can say this because my husband works in a children's clinic, and I've seen it serving as the HR person at numerous places. Unfortunately, some people just wait until themselves or their children have to go to the emergency room instead of doing annual wellness checks. So I think if we emphasize how to best use our insurance, and it's good to know that there's only 11% that even touched it.
Yes, and then I also would like to point out, I got the number of employees or members that met the out-of-pocket maximum. It was only 25 members, so that's 7.3%. That met the out-of-pocket maximum, that 3,000 per year. So,
Low number.
yes. So then, do you have any questions on that table? Okay. So the next section, green section. This is an even higher deductible, so I'm not proposing this option. This one's 2,500. For employee per individual, and the increase for the county would be 40,860. And then the employees increase would be 197,814. So that's. It's a big discrepancy, it's a big difference between the two, I'm not going to propose that, I just wanted to show it. That in the all over. Do you have any questions on this?
Okay, so. Under, back over again. So, I'm not right. Okay, so, in. Current plan, we have.
Yep.
If we don't do anything to the employees as far as, sharing in the cost, not realize it's only 25 employees, but, how does that, what does that, we'll end up paying the 205,000. More than what we're paying now.
Well, that's just our increase.
How much is the increase? The 205,000,
Yeah, that would be the increase.
so what we're paying now?
I don't get written in something.
Well, I mean,
So
so how much of an increase is that for overall insurance cost?
for the
Is
county.
it 30%, 50%, 12%?
9.1,
Huh?
9.1,
9.7.
or 9.7.
That's if we don't do anything.
Well, no matter what, we have that increase, no matter what,
No,
we're gonna have that 9.7.
So that doesn't carry over to the rest of them. The point in yellow is what it is.
Yes, for the county, for the year.
Okay. So that would be less than 9.1 inch, and that'll be a little more. It'll be about 9.6, 9.7.
So the percentage increase of the raise is 9.7. But I don't know, like, on a total budget, what that increase is going to be, because I don't know.
Okay.
Potentially, we could look at using some of that insurance savings on the county side to maybe look at, when we start looking at COLAs and salaries also. And that's resources to look at.
And we're discussing that July 7th, so it's coming up.
Well, the issue that I have with, COLA and all that, and that's apples and elephants. But I realize it's still budget. Everything, but this is the reason why people work here. So, if we're gonna not give them a raise and we're gonna increase their deductible by way more than 9.7%. Not the deductible, but total county claim. That seems pretty unbalanced for the.
Jack, you're giving a minority, it's affecting, it's an improvement for a majority of the employees.
Well, I understand that, that's the
That
conversation.
actually equates to a salary increase. Doesn't it, from that standpoint?
It does, because it saves them about $600 a year.
Yes. So you're actually majority
How
employees.
does that save us by going up?
No, it saves the employee.
The premium is going to decrease for them if they go with the higher deductible. So,
But the overall. See, I hate to be slow on this, but I'm an accountant. I used to sell insurance,
so the premium,
it's complicated.
the premium is going to decrease. It's going to decrease for the employees about 600 per year
If they take that out.
if they take the higher deductible. So it's guaranteed.
Which one?
2,000. So it's guaranteed you're going to save about 600 per year on your premium. But it's not guaranteed you're gonna spend that 2,000 towards the deductible.
Right.
So you could just end up saving and spend nothing towards the deductible.
And what you said is 11% of the employees, I think,
Meant the
750.
Yes.
And we're not talking about regular doctor visits and things like that, so that's not part of the equation either, so.
So that's penalizing 90% pretty much of the employees to accommodate the 10% that more heavily used.
Yes.
So which one are you recommending number 3?
No,
So
B.
so it's gonna be 2 plans. It'll
It's
be
alternate.
Yes, it'll be alternate 3, plan 1,400, and alternate 3, plan 1,100. The 1,100 is our current plan.
Do we need did you want to say something?
I have a question, aside from when I heard the deductible amount. For years, we fought to keep the nice policy that we had. I didn't want to use the word grandfathered in, because as years progress. there's less doctors in the provider network and all that. Is anything else changing besides the deductible?
The network is staying the same, the providers are staying the same, but essentially the same plan, it's just higher deductible and higher copay.
Okay, I just wanna make sure.
Yeah.
Well, and there's a $10 difference in the
Yeah.
copay for an office visit and for a specialist visit, but
But as far as the networks and all those other things, we're still kind of in the grandfather plan, if you wanna call it.
Correct.
so you have in and out of network, because if you remember when Lacey was talking a week ago, I'm not sure when that was, last Friday,
I'm not sure.
there was one of the options where out of network wasn't even going to be considered, so this is really very good. I know that we've talked about how, you know, the county gets money back and it goes in the general fund and the employees don't see any of that, but actually the copay has come down on the insurance. Because I know for a few years it was $60 a person, then we dropped it to 45.
Oh, the premium, yes, we did that last year, so it was 60 before.
So there has been a benefit coming back in some ways.
Last year, the court took 138,000 from the surplus to go towards these benefits to help decrease the cost for employees.
Okay.
So it's not that the court's not doing anything, they are, but it has to be a balance, it has to be a compromise.
So do we need a motion then?
Motion to accept B or
I still got a question. Okay, let's talk about just option three. Okay. Forgive me, my voice on okay, so bottom line, paychecks of the average employees. You know, kids or whatever. So how much would the basic paycheck with the insurance taken out of it go up, go down, or stay the same? On alternate number 3 or 1400.
depends
It'll
what-
go up, so the paycheck will go up
How much would it go up?
about $50 a month.
So
It varies.
$25, but that's not right, Jackie?
So
Well,
it's going to,
Because it's pre-tax.
oh, then, yeah.
If he's talking about with children, so what you're gonna have to depend, if that portion's going up, it's gonna go down.
Well, your paycheck will increase because if you go with the 1,400 higher deductible, you're saving 26.46 per paycheck. So your paycheck will increase because your premium's going down.
So about $52.
Yes,
$52 a month.
It's pre-tax.
But if they go to the doctor, on plan to 3, or a family, a wife, a spouse, and kids. And just, I'm not holding to this, I'm just kind of getting to see what it is. How much would that be out of pocket over your expenses? Just a rough guess. That's an increase. How much of an increase?
well, I don't know how much.
Because I guess it depends on the amount of hospitalization.
Well, how many times you go to the doctor? So let's say you go to the doctor twice in a month, that's just a $20 increase. If you go 10 times a month, that's $100 increase.
Okay.
So
I
it
can-
just varies.
Okay.
You just like them to go for an annual check.
And that's covered, that's,
Yeah,
no,
that's
that's for that.
I don't think that's even a deductible.
It's.
No, it's not. I'm saying that it would just be good if people would do their annual checkups.
Yes.
So what's the difference between the 100 or the 1,100 and the 1,400?
The deductible and the co-pays.
Okay. So which one are you recommending over the 14 or the 11?
Both. We would offer both to the
It's
employees.
the employee's choice.
Oh, okay.
It's employee's choice which one they take.
They
Okay.
could take the one where their coverage, if they go with plan 3, the base plan, they will have no medical insurance premium that they pay any month.
Correct.
That'll totally remove that $45 a month payment.
And then on the renewal notice and benefits confirmation, I know on the agenda I put authorize the judge to sign everything that needs to be signed. This is going to change. This was just one plan. They're gonna have to redo it to it goes up. So.
And they need to make the addresses consistent. Because on one page they're correct. So then I'll,
Who made the motion?
okay, so I will amend my motion to say that I approve, I move that we approve Kansas County's Texas Association of Counties Health and Employee Benefits Pool Plan Year 2026 renewal using Plan 1400 NGS is the base plan. And Plan 1100 NGS is the buyout plan.
Okay.
And authorize the county judge to enter into and sign the renewal agreement with the Texas Association of Counties.
I'll second that.
Got a motion and a second, and that's for. Any questions?
Can I make a comment? I forgot.
Yes.
Something. So as far as, if you were to retire with the benefits, you retire with what plan do you have when you retire? So if you plan to retire in the next year and you want to go with lower deductible plan, you need to elect that with everyone. So
that's-
keep that in mind.
I mean, that's good to.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming into this house.
So thank you.
Explained it well.
Thank you. I tried.
We need to talk about the county specific incentive. Or
Well, we got-
should vote on this.
Vote on this
Okay.
one.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dukenyak, Judge Garza.
Aye, motion passes. We've got a plan. Good news. Item number 4.
Do we need to vote on that? County specific incentive
It
program?
goes with the packet.
Okay,
It goes with review.
okay.
If I don't have a motion for item number 4,
Move to approve continuing retiree health benefits.
Second.
we got a motion and a second. Oh, this is the same, no change.
So for the retiree health benefits, to continue renewal, we have to have it signed by the 27th of Friday. So all that the packet says is if we're gonna continue it, yes or no. For pre-65, post-65, or not at all. So I'm just saying you should, so yes, we're gonna offer retiree health benefits. We just need to write it down and we can have a talk over to change it and find it. I spoke to Lacey about that, she said that's not a problem. They just need the documents back.
So it'll continue as it is for now until something changes.
Yes, ma'am.
And would that have to be come before the court to make a change?
Yes.
Commissioner Cheney,
Aye.
Commissioner Casterline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dukenyak,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, motion passes. Motion to adjourn.
I'll second that.
Commissioner Cheney, Commissioner Casterline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dukenyak,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, it's good to be back. We're adjourned. Thanks.